run those energy drinks in Mountain Dew. That's what brought me down with my stroke, because I worked really hard as a, I used to be a chef.
You shouldn't have eaten the shell on the pinion.
I'm Melissa Skeet. I am an Indigenous woman. I skate to bring a voice to those who have been silenced. I skate to educate. I skate to bring healing. I will continue to be at my relatives' sides, and I will continue to bring awareness. I am Skeet Fighter. My name is Melissa Skeet. I'm the next.
I'm Melissa Skeet. I'm Danette, Navajo, from the Navajo Nation. Thank you all for being here today. Yeah, it really means a lot that all of you are here. Just as survivors and victims of residential and boarding schools from Canada to the U.S. So. Today, marks a very special day, mainly to the families who have been lost, family members like from residential and boarding schools in Canada and the U.S. And again, my parents are survivors of boarding schools in the U.S. and they will still to this day not tell me their trauma, and they won't tell anybody their trauma. Right now, I am on this huge adventure. It's with my partner, fiance Nate, right over here. He's the one who's just behind the scenes constantly. But I have been roller skating from Washington State all the way to DC, so we're almost there. And it's been, thank you. It's been very, very challenging. And anybody who's been following me on social media, I have been posting daily just about of being transparent of what we've been going through. So if you haven't been following me, please do. I have everything on there. I am at ski_fighter. It's just my roller derby name. It's been very challenging to say the least, but we have been able to meet different family members across the nation who have been affected by MMIP. I've met with Task Force MMIR, which is Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives in Colorado. But overall, just people who have reached out, who haven't been able to skate with me or haven't been able to meet me in person at different events, because Patagonia is one of our sponsors and they hold different events for us. We had one in, actually a couple in Montana, yeah. And when we were in Montana, at this Patagonia event, we had so many people coming to us and saying, thank you for what you're doing. I had a family member go missing. They weren't ever found, but another family member over here, they were found, but the criminal justice system isn't really doing much about their case. So I'm like, oh my gosh, should I take these stories with me? Ask the family members if they are okay with me sharing their story. If they are, I'll share it. If they're not, I will not share it. It's just getting and providing, letting them know that I want to get consent first from them. So my body has taken a big toll. It's funny because whenever I see people, you probably are going to look at this, but my feet and toes are never the same. Don't look at it. My toes are just bruised. We did one on the reservation. It was 192 miles. There is actually another documentary that was created on that, and you can check it out on YouTube. Just search, what is it, Skeet for 300, I think? Skeet for MMIW, something like that. But it's there, and it's by group. It's BRUT, period. So they flew out from New York, showed up right in the middle of nowhere on the reservation, and said, we're going to capture everything we do. I was like, okay. So you'll see me ugly cry. My fiance picked me up from the ground because I'm just dead beyond dead, just exhausted. But being able to talk to families there too who would stop by on the side of the road and say thank you for what you're doing and getting this out there. I'm like, you got it. So this isn't, again, my only awareness. There's others that I've done in between and partnered with skateboarders, inline skaters, where we've skated 50 miles in one day. I only could do like 32 or 34 that day because it was scorching hot. But the skateboarders were like, nope, we got this. So that one was actually really special. It was for the Yakama tribe in Washington State. We had, at every single mile we would stop and we would put a stake in the ground and it had a name of a victim who went missing or was murdered. And we would do a prayer. We did this at every mile. It was so hard. You recollect that, Nate? That was a really hard day. It was really hot, scorching hot, but the skateboarders were super fast. So roller skating was my savior. So kind of a little bit about me. Yeah. You guys have any questions? I feel like I put that all in a nutshell. It's like a summary. You can go for hours, but I'll leave it for you when we get to DC. So when we get to DC, Patagonia has 2 events for us on Friday.
Amazing for spreading awareness and education. And for someone that's listening to your talks, like, what would you want us to do with this education? How do we take the fruits of your labor and like continue that?
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you for asking. Spread the awareness as much as possible, even if it's just providing, information to others who have no idea what it is. If you come across a conversation, you're like, oh my gosh, have you heard about MMIP? And they're like, what's that? Guarantee people are going to be like, what's that? And just let them know what it is. And sharing the information that you know and what you are aware of. As well as, with our tour right now, or even just letting people know that Melissa Skeet is doing this tour. Check it out. Follow her if you want to, because I talk a little bit more about families and all that stuff too. We have a GoFundMe link, but a lot of the proceeds too are going to our partner Indigenous nonprofit, which is Okomi Forensics. Okay. They are based out of Missoula, Montana, and they help out within the forensic investigation process within the criminal case. So usually sometimes investigators within the criminal justice or the investigation process don't do such a great job. Sorry. Do you guys want to come in? I don't want to call them out or anything. But they are professionals. Okomi Forensics are professionals to help out with like the DNA analysis within these cases. Overall, just forensic investigation, the whole process with that. And they spend about, was it $30,000 to $4,000 per search, because they help out with the searches to find the missing person.
Wow.
Yeah, so they do a lot of work, and they are very, very culturally competent and culturally sensitive to these cases. So, you can even go to Okomi Forensics, which is www.okomiforensics, and donate there if you'd like. So I give an option to, if you like, you can donate to us to help us out and finish out this tour, or donating directly to Okomi Forensics. Yeah, just spreading the awareness. Yeah. Good question. Everyone is different, you, as an individual, you all have your own healing journey. And if you've been through trauma, it's just whatever makes you feel whole, or even my example here is, so I'm usually out by myself, either on a road. Usually if it's on a road, it's with Nate, but he's in the vehicle driving ahead of me. And then on a trail, I'm literally by myself for sometimes like 3.5 to 4 hours straight, and that's how long I'm skating straight. So during these moments where I'm by myself, it's just that healing. I can't explain it, but it's just so empowering for myself to be able to skate in that moment, to feel the breeze, to see wildlife near me, or to see these cornfields or something, even though they bring humidity and I hate it, but like, or to see like, trees and mountains everywhere. And as much as I want to like document everything, I'm just be in the moment, Melissa. And I feel so freaking free in that moment. Whatever like gets you to that point to make you so free and empowering in that moment, like whatever that is, like go to it. Allow it to just heal yourself. Yeah. I don't know how many meltdowns I've had, Nate, where that's my fiance Nate, and he's seen my meltdowns, because it is discouraging. It really is, because there's a few times, actually 2 times, that I wanted to give up, because you try so hard and you keep trying and trying. And I was just, there was this, it was actually this inline skater who messaged me and basically told me that what I was doing was like, you're doing a good job, but you suck at it. You're doing a good job, but you suck at it. He was using the sandwich theory. It was like a backhanded compliment the entire time. So, and the way that you put it, he was trying to say like all of these skaters that I've been talking to have been saying like, you're doing great, but you suck. And I was just like, holy crap, and I just thought I had it up to here. And this was one out of a few that have kind of come at me in ways. And of course there's going to be those haters, and they come out. But, it's just what keeps me going and just going, like moving forward, and just the drive for it is the moms, the parents of these families that are fighting so hard for their family member to either just, because they say, so all of the pain that I go through on a daily basis, from like overexhaustion, from either our Malamute who doesn't, he needs the utmost attention, so he tries to wake us up in the middle of the night, and our, setting up our campsite late at night, to eating late at night, and not being able to sleep all night sometimes because we get hit by the intense storms, and even had a lightning strike nearby us. That was really scary. And then the humidity, skating in the heat and humidity, and we're so exhausted. There are times where I just like broke down crying. I'm like, why are we doing this? Asking this question. And I realize it's just like the families that just keep me going, because everything that I'm going through, like fighting tooth and nail, and the tears that I shed, the exhaustion, does not even add up to what the families go through. From them staying up late at night, hoping that their relative will come home and they don't show up, hoping that their relative will call them on the phone. They don't hear anything. And then days pass. Law enforcement officers are just ignoring their case or ignoring them. And then, just going on day and day and day, turning into months, turning into years. And they still don't know where they are. And they're waking up with nightmares at times, or maybe, someone comes to them and says, I heard this story, this crazy story that they're over here, someone saw them, and that gives them hope. And the more that they hear that hope and they don't find their relative, the more they're just like, it's just false hope. Like, I'm not going to believe that someone has seen them. So it's all of this, and when you hear their story, or you hear what they're going through, that motivates me even more and pushes me even more to keep going. I'm like, I'm going to bring this and continue to bring awareness out there, even though we haven't even made the amount of money, like from donations, for it to help us out, or even to help the Indigenous nonprofit that we're working with, Okomi Forensics. It's discouraging, but it's just, we have brought awareness this entire time to different populations. Even in the Midwest, you know, just roller skating on the road, and all of a sudden I see a Confederate flag over here. I'm like, okay, you know, and then a police officer is literally stalking me, standing, you know, just hovering behind me, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they finally pass me after like they were there for like 15, 20 minutes or so hovering behind me. And they just give us the most disgusted look ever while I'm roller skating with a red handprint on my face. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I got so scared. And after that, I was like, we're stopping. I don't want to have anything to do with this cop, whatever their motive is. And that was clear in the Midwest where white supremacy and all of that was out. So I was like, this is not, you know, I'm going to keep going. I'm scared, but I'm going to keep going. But it's just families. Yeah, it really is families that keep me going.
Thank you.
Good question. Yeah, thanks.
We just wrapped up at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, right? In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it was a panel event that we were able to do, and it went really, really good. Appreciate Jose and the team for just putting this together and allowing to speak more about the awareness and promoting health, wellness, and healing, and talking more about healing itself. Today is International Awareness Day for survivors and the victims of the residential schools and boarding schools stemming from Canada all the way down to the United States. So my family, I have a lot of family members that are survivors of boarding schools. So today is a very, very crucial day to bring awareness and education and recognition to what the U.S. government has done to the Indigenous population of erasure to the Indigenous people.
I left you like the war in me. I loved you like an enemy. Been thinking about it, there's nowhere left to turn. Tended to my garden just to watch it burn. So I follow my feet as far as I can, run like a river, watch my name etched in